Yo, listen, group chat podcast, Kazeem, other people time. He's gonna join us in a second. Got my man S. Dot here now. If
Yo.
I wish that I could really I wish I could give the public a window into our group chat, but it's just too sacred, you know what I'm saying? But one of the biggest fights, and I want to start with sports, then we could kind of touch on the Ice Cube thing at the end, pause. But you have an issue with LeBron fans. And so I want to give you, before Kazeem comes charging on the scene, I'm gonna just pepper you with some questions, and you can rebuttal them, and because me and Zeem was talking, so I know you want to get your thoughts out there, a couple nice clips to put on Insta, on Twitter, on Snap. So let me ask you this. So where does LeBron stand in your all-time rankings as of right now?
Third best all time.
Third best all time behind?
Me personally, MJ and Kobe.
MJ and Kobe. All right. So what is your reasoning for the Kobe thing?
My reason for the Kobe is I just think that everything we kind of give LeBron credit for, we saw Kobe do it. Like he went to 4 finals with the Lakers, with Shaq. And then the biggest thing about it is they said he couldn't do it without Shaq. But if you kind of look at those numbers, and today I kind of briefly was just like browsing the internet, like his averages in the finals, and they're just like crazy kind of numbers he was putting up at 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? And we all remember the game when Shaq fouled down, he kind of had to close out those paces. And that's tough to do at 21. Like we're looking at like Tyler Hero right now, we're like, damn, he's only a rookie, you know what I'm saying? But that's 21 years old in the finals, your first finals at that, and you close out like pretty much like a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that, and I think that he stood the course with his team, and they went through like a down period from, I want to say 2004 to probably like 2008, where they weren't good at all. Where he took hell. Like they said he was a ball hog. They said he'd never win a chip without Shaq. Like he wasn't a good person. Like nobody will ever want to come play with Kobe. He finally gets a decent team to come kind of link up with him, and he goes to 3 straight finals and he wins 2 out of 3. So while I respect and I understand the greatness of reaching 10 finals, just kind of what I've seen and what I've grown up on, like, yeah, that's great and all, but how are we rewarding the guy that's lost more over the guy that's won more? And I have a question for you, or not even a question, but like, if me and you are millionaires, right?
Yep.
And I say, and then your dad says, Josh, I'm giving you this crew, go make $1 million. But he says, he's a little more lenient on me. He says, Sean, you could pick whoever you want to go make $1 million.
Yeah.
No, what grind are you going to respect more?
Yeah, you got to respect the guy that kind of did the work with what he was given.
Well, what he's given. So, and I understand that point of like, all right, if you come mess with me, I'll take you to where you need to be. That's like an amazing feat. That's like an accomplishment. But certain guys those guys, MJ and Kobe wasn't ever given that luxury of saying, all right, let me go have this guy, and then we'll go win a championship. It was, all right, this is what we're going to do. And like, we'll run it by you, but this is what you got to work with. And we expect you to go out there and win. And Kobe, when he finally wanted a guy, the league said no. So it's just, so even like, you know what I'm saying? They said, no, you can't have him. It's no good. You can't have him. So like, it's just like, I don't know, like I don't disrespect LeBron and I respect LeBron, but I kind of appreciate those journeys a little more.
So let me ask you this, right? So you have LeBron James, who took a team to the NBA Finals in 2007. So that was his 4th year. And I think that looking at LeBron's career, I think that's one of his greatest achievements is getting that to the finals. And I don't think that a lot of people hold that loss in particular against him. But I do think that like LeBron's greatest asset is his body.
Yeah.
So he's able to dominate earlier because he has a man body right out of high school, whereas like a KG, a T-Mac, a Kobe, it takes them 2 and 3 years before they start to show, that they're going to be perennial all-stars, all NBA players. So let me ask you this, right? So LeBron's at age 35 right now. He just finished year 17. Is there anything that he can do in your estimation to pass Kobe and then Jordan?
I don't. So I think to pass Kobe, I think that he would have to win another championship. Once you time at 5, I think he'd have the little edge over Kobe because he's had more winning seasons, where Kobe kind of went through some years where they didn't make the playoffs, where they struggled, things like that. The Chris Mims, Smush Parker years, I know you know those years.
Don't I?
It's tough for him to ever pass Jordan. For him to pass Jordan, he'd have to get, I don't know, you'd have to get way more than 6, I think. Because I just feel like it's tough to be the guy that's like, when he finally got there, he never lost. And while doing it, it was like total domination. Like his lowest, finals average, I think was like 28 or something like that. So it's just like, it's so ill that it's so crazy to me that we kind of overlook this with this kind of new era vision, because it's like, the dude really won 6 straight. And at that point, he set the bar. The reason why there is a year 17 is because of Jordan. Kobe was a little more vocal about it, that he wanted to win more rings than Shaq. He wanted to catch MJ, whereas LeBron kind of he'll never openly say that. He'll never voice that. But there's no reason to play 17 years, or there's no reason to ever leave Cleveland if you win every finals that you had there. You know what I'm saying? Why would Jordan? And I had a friend that told me, well, Jordan's done it with multiple, LeBron's done it with multiple teams. He's had to do it with multiple teams because he wasn't able to win in certain areas, so he had to go somewhere else that gave him a better chance to win. So if I'm winning 6 straight, we're playing video games, I can only beat you so many times before I get bored. What else you want me to do? I beat you in Call of Duty, FIFA, 2K. I beat you 10 times in a row. You want to play 10 more? What am I going to get out of that? And plus, you're taking away my materials.
Yep. So let me ask you this, right? So we have LeBron in year 17 win the championship. I think that a lot of times what happens in this conversation is people will be like, well, if LeBron does this, he can pass Jordan. If LeBron does this, he can pass that guy. And my thing is that it's not so much that I feel that LeBron isn't as accomplished a player as Mike, because I feel you get into the stratosphere of a Shaq, a Kobe, a Duncan, a LeBron, a Jordan, a Bill Russell, a Kareem, a Larry Bird. These guys are, it's just, hey, what's your preference? What do you,
yeah.
I like Sprite, you like Coke, you know what I'm saying? Someone likes orange soda. So, but what I do think, I think that MJ at his peak is just a better basketball player. And sometimes, MJ's numbers are crazy, Bron's numbers, all these guys' numbers are out of this world. But just from watching it as a young person and then watching it now, watching it back, you know me, you guys tease me all the time that I'm an egghead, I'm a nerd, so I'll be watching games on YouTube, old Lakers games, old Bulls games. So watching him, I just feel like he's a better, more skilled player than LeBron James. Now, LeBron James' body and mind is out of this world and probably second to none. But one thing that I try to do is I like to talk to people who are old. Mm-hmm. And so, for instance, I talk to my dad about it. He's 72, and he'll say, man, well, Kareem was probably the best because of this, and then Magic was this, and Jordan was that, and LeBron does this, and Kobe did this, but Shaq. So he's had the perspective of seeing it, because sometimes, me, I like my numbers, I like my analytics. I think they're useful in some arguments, but if I'm looking at Jordan scoring 45 in that game 6, like you were pointing out, like he scored 45, but like that was like more than half the team's points. So we like judge it. So it's hard to judge errors because if you look at like the 80s, the basketball was up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. 90s, everything kind of grinded to a halt. Early 2000s, things are grinding to a halt. Then mid 2000s, things start picking up to kind of evolve of where we are now. So some of the numbers, I'm like, all right, let me throw that out. I'm watching LeBron James. This man's dominating, just dominating. So I'm not even thinking about his numbers. I'm just looking at his impact.
Yeah.
Looking at Jordan's impact. Duncan's never going to have the numbers, but you knew he was the best guy on the floor.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting kind of intersection of where we are right now in the debate.
No, I agree, but it's my thing is just like we can have the debate, but you have to make it make sense. That's my biggest thing. Make it make sense. Like you can like Jordan and you can also appreciate LeBron. Mm-hmm. You can like LeBron and you can also appreciate Jordan, but it's just like I've heard like Jordan's played plumbers, like so. And when I hear that, he won his last championship in 1998. So that means you have to discredit Tim Duncan's championships. You have to discredit the first 3 for Kobe. So when did the league just go through this mutant change where like things just started happening? Because I mean, if Jordan played in 98 and Kobe wins in 2000, did that much change between those 2 years? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to say like, look who MJ was playing. Well, he was kind of playing the same guys Kobe was playing in 2000.
Oh yeah, because the Lakers did beat Indiana that first year.
And I also take a look at that too. They got through the Mavs, they got through the Spurs, they got through the Jazz. Those are all teams that Jordan beat. And up until and I was kind of doing my research, Karl Malone up until 2003 was averaging, the year before he came to the Lakers, he was averaging 20 points a game.
Yep.
So it's like, what do we, and and then we have like my next point is the new thing now, or the new meme or thing circling around is just throwing out that Pippen picture. Like look how much Pippen like averaged or led the team in. So my answer to that is, that's like hit or miss. That's who nobody knew about Pippen. He was drafted there. So he had to develop into that. And that's partly of seeing the greatness of Jordan, seeing the greatness of the Bulls organization at the time. And it's so different rather than getting an established star and saying, oh, I know what you can do. You know what I'm saying? I know what you can do. Let's come do it together. Versus, all right, we have to wait until he eventually develops into that.
One thing I'll say, hold on, Zeem.
Oh God.
I think that sometimes what we do as fans, especially.
Wait, can we time out? Can I know what's going on, please?
We're just talking the context. I'm just asking Doc what his beef is with the LeBron comparisons to past players, not just MJ. So I'm just asking him. I was peppering him with questions, and I'm giving my opinion here and there. But I think that what we tend to do a lot of times is just look at especially I think since the 2010 decision, and maybe even a little bit before that with the Celtics all coming together in 2008, is that we're just they have 3 stars, they have 4 stars, they have all this talent. But what a lot of times happens is it's not always the team that has the most talent or the deepest roster. A lot of times it's just, organizations win championships. So a lot of times you have to, is this organization going into the luxury tax? Is the coaching staff good? Is the GM good? Now we get to the floor, you got to have talent. And sometimes you don't have to have the most talented team to be the best team. You know what I'm saying? People didn't think that the Lakers had the best talent this year. Only when they started to dominate in the playoffs, the people say, oh, it's not fair. They got LeBron, they got Anthony Davis. Oh, my God, we knew they were going to win, blah, blah, blah. So there's been times through the years, no one thought that Toronto was going to win the championship last year. You know what I'm saying? Before the year.
No, facts. But my thing is this is what Zeem gets mad at. And I'm happy he's on this podcast so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to say is whether if it's LeBron, whether if it's KD, whether if it's Kawhi, whether if it's Steph Curry, if you go to your organization, and I'm happy that I don't slight them, I'm happy they do have this power. If you go to them and you say, yo, this is the guys I need in here, we want to win now. We don't care about that, like, build for the future, which is it's hard to win a chip. So you got right or wrong, Zeem, you got to try to win now, right? If you're able to do that and you do manage to do that and you lose, it's accept what comes with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like what I was saying, Zeem, it's a great accomplishment to make 10 finals. You know what I'm saying? That means that if you come mess with me, I'm gonna at least get you there. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I say I can't put him over Kobe and I can't put him over a Jordan is because they didn't have that luxury. They had to basically work with like their office, their general manager saying, listen, this is the product we're putting out here. You got to go win for us. So how could I ever put that over that? Like, how could I?
Nah, I listen. I'm done with this nonsense. I don't give a damn for the do-rag on today's podcast that I'm supposed to be scared. Jiggy showing off the fresh baldy. I don't care what's going on. I gotta speak on this. LeBron James is just 10 times ahead of the game, and we cannot fault him for that. And I mean that in the sense of, first of all, he was ahead of the curve, starting 15, 16 years old. Sports Illustrated chosen one. Coming into the league with all that pressure, knowing what was transpiring. So, Dot, he went the traditional way. Do you agree his first 7 years with the Cleveland Cavaliers and let Dan Gilbert run amok and put all this nonsense surrounding him? Yes or no?
I don't think it's I'll answer your question if you allow me to. I don't think it's when you win 66 games.
No. I'm just saying, regardless of the outcome, do you agree his first 6, 7 years, he didn't have the cachet to create this, I want him, I want this coach, I want that, whatever the case may be. Maybe they did some signings and asked him, are you cool with X, Y, and Z?
Hold on, Zeem. Let me stop you. He did get Shaq there for a low deal. He got Jameson there for a low deal. He had Ben Wallace there for a low deal. He was able to get players. So I think that as he was coming to the end of that 7 years, I think he was getting there. But the first 4 or 5 years, he didn't. So
all right, thank you. That's what I wanted to establish. And within those first 4 to 5 years, he took whatever the Cavaliers brought to him and showed his skill set to bring that team to the finals. One of the most historical 25 points in a row against the Detroit Pistons, who was dominating the East during that time for a 4-year, Eastern Conference in a row. And he showed what he's capable of doing. He said, you know what? My hands is up. I see what we need to do in order to compete against the Boston Celtics, even though it was traditional NBA generic and how it happened, with the trade, Ray Allen coming in, KG coming in, and all these picks and, all the future thing, AKA what the Lakers did, pre-AD, the same similarities, and went through that struggle years that Jiggy is fearing. Then he went to go emulate that in Miami. And then he had that ability. He came up 2 out of the 4 years of winning a chip, 4 years in a row finals. And then after that, he went back to Cleveland. And then that's when Dan Gilbert's like, you know what? I'm sorry for calling you that you quit and all this, and gave him full range. And he gave you the opportunity. But at the end of the day, talent is talent. And Golden State Warriors the last 2 years had more talent. I cannot sit there and say any player on the Golden State Warriors was better than LeBron James. They just had collectively more talent, better coaching, better GM, better organization, what Josh just alluded to. So you see that, you don't make that face. You just said that wins championship, and you're going to say Golden State Warriors did not have that over the Cleveland Cavaliers? Is that what you're honestly going to say, Josh?
My thing is
with talent as well.
Hold on, wait. I got to say this, right? So if I'm going to put myself in LeBron's fans' mind, they say he's the best player ever. And during that time, he was the best player in the league. And by a
Which he was.
by a wide margin, right? Then people, Kevin Love is an all-star. Kyrie Irving is an all-star. So we
Chris
have
Middleton is an all-star. Like anybody can make it all-star.
Hold on, Zeem.
They're Olympians.
They were held in a lot more higher.
Yeah, that's why I hate when you try to make
Kyrie wasn't
worse than what it is.
So then I'm saying to myself, if I got the best guy in the league, by a mile, 2 all-stars and a bunch of good veteran role players, and so then on the other side, I'm looking at Golden State, and I always told you I thought Curry was great. I always tell you that I value Draymond, but people will tell you, oh, Curry's not even better than Kyrie.
Good point. 2000, especially after 2016,
and people will say
the best point guard in the league.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't care. I don't care what your Twitter timeline says. I don't care what your Twitter timeline says.
This is what you said. This is what
I said that Kyrie's better than Stephen Curry. How can I say that?
You said Draymond Green's a fake all-star.
Yeah, I agree. We're talking about Curry. I'm talking about Curry and Kyrie.
That's what I'm saying, but that's my point, Z. I'm like,
So wait. So Josh, stop, because you always go into what they said and whatever. What do you think? Did you think at any time the KD Golden State Warriors that Cavaliers had more talent than that team? Yes or no?
I thought it was close, but I think Golden State was.
So can I? Zeem, how does?
Did you not? Sean, hold on. Give me a second. I came in late. Give me a second. Now, Josh, before I hopped on and talked, you just legitimately told me championships are won by front office, GMs, and coaching. Do you agree, yes or no, that Golden State Warriors had that better than the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Cavs won a year before. They were the defending champ.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Answer the question.
Yeah, but that's what. Well, hold on, listen, right? I'm not gonna hold on, Ja. I know you're chomping at the bit. The only thing I'm gonna push back at, Z, is that I don't feel that Cleveland was like this rudderless, terrible team. Griff, good GM. Ty Lue, good coach. LeBron James,
always a good coach.
Best player ever, according to a lot of in his physical prime. And I think that Cleveland team that lost to Golden State was the best Cleveland team that they had. And they outspent Golden State.
And not for nothing, how does whatchamacallit, how does Houston go 7 and you get 1 game?
Yeah, that's styles and matchups. Like, you know that, like, what is that?
But this is styles and matchups. You're the best player in the world with 2 all-stars. I don't want to hear styles.
Which year? The 2018 year when you went with Jordan Clarkson in them?
No, 2017. That's when Golden State went 7 with Houston. 2017.
I just
you told me out your own mouth, and you told me out your own mouth, Zeem. You said if CP3 doesn't get hurt, Golden State doesn't make the finals.
I agree, because I just feel like the Rockets match up better.
So let me ask you a question. But isn't that bad to say that?
Team was better.
But look what you're saying. The best player in the world, by far, the best player of the generation, can't get 1 game.
I think they did get 1 game that year.
Only 1 game with Kyrie.
Only 1 game.
My one pushback would be, I don't think that if I'm thinking about a Kobe, if I'm thinking about a LeBron James or Michael Jordan, with talent with them, not just by themselves, I'm not saying like, oh, the Lakers lost to this team because it was just a bad matchup. Like, I'm expecting the Lakers with Kobe and Gasol and Orban Bynum. It don't matter who the matchup is. I'm expecting a W. I don't want to hear, well, Houston matches up better with this team, but Sacramento is like, I'm just expecting them to win. Like, I'm not expecting.
That's fanboy talk. That's fanboy
No, it's not
talk.
fanboy talk. I'm saying, like, even like
You just said it. My expectation. Like, that's fanboy. But then you're a coach, and you know matchups is a critical role. So you just doesn't make sense.
Let me put it like,
I'm saying, like,
No,
you
but
talk on both sides of your mouth, and it don't make sense.
NBA is different. It's not like I'm coaching an AAU team.
NBA is different.
I know, like, all right, we have to load up for this game because this is the best team we're gonna face. I'm saying a team with Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron. I'm not saying like, oh, styles make fights, matchups. No,
Can I just make my closing argument? And this is why, me personally, you guys can say what you want, and I'm just going to make my statements on why I feel LeBron James at the game of basketball. I'm not saying dominant, more accolades, whatever. At the game of basketball, he is better in my eyes. And I'm going to say a couple of things, and I'll let you guys chime in on all my different factors, all right? First of all, regardless of what you say, Michael Jordan's career ended shortly because he refused to play without Phil Jackson.
But
Kobe Bryant. So stop. Let me finish. No, let me finish. I don't want to stop.
Point by point. All right, go. Go.
Thank you.
You act like a baby.
Second, all right, listen, I'm just letting you know, Michael Jordan had a three-peat run. He came back, had another three-peat run, and then the man said, I refuse to play without Phil Jackson. Yes, Phil Jackson was not the Phil Jackson that we known after the 15-year career when he first got there. But as we've seen in The Last Dance, he changed his style of play, he changed his thought process, and he groomed him. Michael Jordan was actually getting better numbers under Doug Collins, MVPs, the first time that he got Defensive Player of the Year and scoring title, all in the same year. That wasn't under Doug Collins.
But he also averaged 41 a game in the finals under Phil Jackson. So what are we saying?
Yeah, I'm talking regular season. You heard me say MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year.
His last year of the league, he won the scoring title, he won Defensive Player of the Year, he won MVP, and he won Finals MVP.
I'm saying the first time, did he not do that under Doug Collins? Yes or no?
He did it multiple times.
The first time, did he not do it under Doug Collins? Yes or no?
But what is the point if he did it under
the point is that he was losing during that time. He got swept in the playoffs. That
obviously
same
didn't have the team that they had.
All right, so there you go. And then Phil came in, showed him how he should play, the style of play in the triangle.
A rookie head coach told Jordan how he should play. That's what you're telling me.
Did you not see that in The Last Dance? Yes or no? Did Jordan not say that out of his own mouth? Yes or no? So you're telling me Jordan was lying?
What I did see was at first he didn't trust Phil.
No. And then what did he say?
It's sick. It's not a Disney movie where the first year
that was not a Disney movie. All right, so let me go to my points. All right, so bet. Then you had, he came back, did his three-peat, whatever the case may be, had opportunity to continue run. Then he quit on the Bulls, retired twice, retired baseball. Then the second time because I want Phil. Then we had Kobe Bryant, successful with Shaq, with Phil's tutelage. Phil leaves. Phil writes a book about Kobe, how he's one of the worst teammates and a conundrum. That's the word of the day. And all of a sudden, Kobe changed his perspective in that 2.5 year period without Phil. Phil comes back. He wins another 2. LeBron James, I don't give a damn what coach you put with him, what GM you put with him. As you see, he made Ty Lue a star, Frank Vogel a star, Spo a star, Griffin money. He made all these guys different coaches. It does not matter. He performed at a high level and it does not matter. So when I tell you that coaches mean something, if you guys are going to tell me coaches don't mean nothing, then what Josh said previously, he lied on national TV. But if you're telling me it means something, and I'm telling you this guy had no Hall of Fame coach guidance throughout his whole career, no Dean Smith, no Phil Jackson, like that means something to me. Going to 3 different organizations and winning means something.
Let me
you just can't poo-poo that. I know that Google's booming, but go ahead. That's facts.
Listen, Jordan won Dean Smith his first national championship.
He won him.
He did.
Dean Smith was irrelevant as a coach prior to Michael Jordan. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that he never won a championship before Michael Jordan got there.
I'm just saying, was he not a respected coach?
He was known as a good coach, but
so you're basically saying Carmelo Anthony also made Jim Boeheim as well.
No,
Jim Boeheim was not a coach.
He won him his only chip. Like that means
continue on. I'll let you finish.
And then Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan won him his first chip. So I mean, we like.
Can you?
And the one thing I don't want to do is like this is why I hate comparing eras, because I think that I think that it's just hard when dudes didn't have the same freedoms that they have now to move around.
And that's my biggest.
I think that's the only thing that kind of confuses and changes things, because now you can say, well, LeBron's gone from winning one with Spo to winning one with this coach and that coach. But and I think this is what Stephen A. Smith is trying to say, is that he's not running up against the same kind of not saying there's not good players in the league now, because I think that there is, but he's not running up against those dynasties that are together for years and years. We got the same guys in front.
What is the Warriors? What are the Warriors? What was the Celtics? What was the Spurs? Are these not dynasties?
So my thing is this, Zeem. I won't even go that approach. I gave you the floor, now let me listen.
Yep.
My thing is, the reason why there is even a year, like I was telling Josh before he got on the call, the reason why there even is a year 17 is because Jordan went 6-0. That desire to chase that 6 rings. That's the reason why there is a chase right now, if we're being honest. Kobe was vocal about it. Kobe was vocal about wanting to pass Shaq and wanting to catch Jordan. LeBron's not so much vocal about it. Jordan won 6 rings, Zeem. If not for nothing, if you keep beating someone, eventually it's like, yo, what more do you want me to do? So I've won you 6 straight with this organization. We have something that's worked. I'm 35 years old. You want to change everything to pick up and start new at 35?
That's BS.
How is it BS?
Why did he come back for another 3 years for the Washington Wizards? Explain that to me. What was that about?
It was a team that he part-owned, and they had
He could have owned it without playing. They
had all lottery because he loved the game. He didn't come realistically think
So why can't LeBron love the game?
He is chasing. Yo, I don't think we would have to dive deeper on certain things that LeBron has said, but LeBron for a fact is still playing in year 17 because he is chasing the if you win,
because he's the best player. Why does the best player just have to hang it up for what?
Okay,
for what?
If
Kareem played 22 years and had all those titles for what? Karl Malone played 20 years for what?
And never won.
Right. All right. So
why did he go to the Lakers?
Forget about Karl Malone. What about Kareem? Why Kareem played 22, 23 years?
I can't speak for Kareem because I didn't see.
All right, then. So what are you talking about?
But I've seen LeBron interviews. I've seen LeBron talk.
Doing it.
Yo, he went to Miami and he guaranteed. So and you always see the thing about coaching. You can never expect LeBron to have a specific coach because wherever he goes, he's going to change the team. How can you coach that? What's the culture? You can't just coach whoever I decide.
He is the culture. He is the culture.
Yeah, but
this is why, like I said yesterday, this is why I respect Peyton Manning.
Can I finish for a second?
All right, good.
Pop has a specific culture that he does for the Spurs organization. They're going to, whoever's on that team, they're going to run that offense, whatever he does. LeBron, if it doesn't work in Cleveland, he says, all right, let's try Miami. I maxed out Miami. Let's go back to Cleveland. I maxed out Cleveland. Let's go to the Lakers. In 2018, bro, they started off with D Wade, Isaiah Thomas, a bunch of guys. That didn't work. They shipped everybody out mid-season and said, let's get new guys. You're never going to get a coach that's going to be ever able to deal with that. So you have to plug in a certain guy that's just going to kind of be there to manage everything. You can't coach that. It's no nothing stays the same.
Can you answer me this question? How many years in the league did Michael Jordan play?
He played from 80 to 98.
How many years? 16?
15.
15? Okay. How many years did he play with Phil Jackson?
From 91 to 98.
Nah, it was before then.
Nope.
They lost once or twice with Phil.
With Phil, right?
89 to 98.
89 to 98. So he went 6 years, because what people are starting to do, and I only bring that to bring this up, what people start to do with LeBron James is use his final losses against him. So to me, I think LeBron James will be seen in a better light in you guys' eyes if he only went to the finals 4 times and went 4-0. Would
no, I'm not even
the
saying
fact that you retract from him is negative for
no, that's not
making
what I'm
it
saying.
there
But
is
he got there.
mind-boggling
He
to
went in
me.
so he got in the league 84, right? He first made the finals in 91. Once he got there, he never.
So that's 8 years.
Like how many basketball
years.
players won us? What if any basketball player won 6 straight championships and they are known as the best player in the world, they are not still gonna play. They're not.
But Doc, my thing is this is my issues with the whole Jordan argument, and I hate to go like barbershop-ish, but sometimes I just have to break it down to the most simplest form because you guys try to just eliminate just logic thoughts. And I know you guys want to be the basketball expertise guys.
Just
and,
get your point, man.
The whatever. But what I'm trying to tell you is he never beat Larry Bird in the playoffs. He never beat Isaiah Thomas until after the try. Until the 4th try.
How many times it took a try to beat the Celtics?
Twice. They beat the Celtics twice. What are you talking
about? And he went and got 2 All-Stars, man. Like this is
the one thing that I think that you kind of like leave out is that like
all those superstars got old, then Michael Jordan took over after year 8 and 9.
If you look at the Celtics, LeBron kind of did the same thing with them and Kobe.
Yeah, so but that's my thing. Call it out. Call it out.
We are calling it out, but I'm just saying.
You guys only bring up LeBron.
But what has he done to make you say?
Usually you don't usually win until your mid to late 20s or year 6, 7, 8, whatever. Like Wade and Kobe are kind of anomalies in that sense. Magic. Like
how old was Kobe when he won his first one, Zeem?
21, 22.
So why you answer, man? Because he don't know these things. That's why
I do know these things. In 2000, you forget his 4th year in the league.
What did you get at 21 years old when Shaq fouled out? He had a closeout Hall of Fame Reggie Miller. You forget
Jordan
that.
Don't forget that. What does that have to do with the argument? The argument is
what makes you put them ahead of them?
Like, Bron beat the Celtics until they got old, and he went and got like Wade and Bosh. Like,
that's like Jordan can't beat the Celtics or he can't beat the Bash brother Pistons, and he says, Barkley and Clyde Drexler, let's come beat. I'm gonna go with you and go beat them.
You're telling me that's wrong. It's wrong to have that mentality.
I'm not saying it's wrong
because you didn't keep that same energy when KD and the Golden State Warriors did it.
Listen. This analogy I gave Josh. We all millionaires, right? And your mom says, she says to Zeem, this is who you gotta make $1 million, but I'm picking your team that's gonna help you go make $1 million. She's a little more lenient with me. She says, Sean, you're gonna make $1 million too, but I'm allowing you to get every piece you need to put you in position to do it. I respect both because we both got there, but I respect the guy that did it with damn, I just had to work with what you gave me. I respect that.
No, you can't do that. No. That's not a logical reason, especially in the game of basketball where free agencies, salary cap, location, everything that Josh said, organization, GM, like you can't do that. It's not as simple as you just made it seem.
You love to bring up Pippen, but not for nothing. We forget that the Bulls were one of the worst organizations before Jordan got there.
And what was the Cavaliers? What was the Cavaliers before LeBron got there? There was a number 1 seed for a reason.
Let me finish. Pippen's not nice in college. Pippen had to develop into the Pippen we know today. He was a draft pick. It's not like saying, all right, we already know what D-Wade's capable of. We already know what Bosh is capable of. We don't know what to expect from Pippen. He has to develop and grow into that player. We know what we're going to do.
And Michael Jordan couldn't do anything until Scottie Pippen grew into that player.
Yeah, but
bring that up.
It's like Zeem is showing, I get your points, but it's just hard to compare because of the way things were done back then is different than how they're done now. So I'm not going to hold the fact that, okay, LBJ went to 3 different organizations and one, Yeah, but that's kind of like he set that model that a lot of people are gonna come behind and follow that. So I'm not gonna compare it to an era where guys wasn't moving around like that. It's not fair compared to either guy. So like to me, I don't think he left Cleveland. He's like, yo, I'm with Wade and Bosch. Then he's like, oh, these guys are starting to get old. All right, I'm with a younger group. Then he's like, I can't like the cupboard in Cleveland's getting kind of bare. Okay, I'm gonna go to LA. It was just different. And I'm not faulting him for doing what he was supposed to do, but it's just different. So I don't like that comparison because I'm not faulting Bron for moving around because that's what they do now. Just
facts. But can I ask you a question?
Ask a question. And then I want to go back to
Josh. It's for Josh. When Magic and Kareem was playing, were there numbers like eye-popping numbers? Like, damn, these two dudes are killers.
Like maybe like not at the same time. Like Reem was up here and Magic was trying to catch him, and then they kind of intersected like this. And then,
like I'm looking at these playoff averages, bro. Like, yo, it's a lot of 15 points a game. Like Pippen was solid, but like 17 and 5, and then your next.
It doesn't show the context of what was going on. How can you not show the context of what was going on in the game, especially when you threw that stat in the other day when Jordan had 45 points, 35 shots. He took all the shots.
He had to. He had to.
So, Josh, just to go back to your point,
No, hold on. Stay there. So is he not supposed to take 35 shots? He's supposed to just pass the ball and pray that they make it? No, you go take over. That's why I have him as the best player.
Zeem, in fairness, before you jumped on, I kind of talked about the numbers. Like, so if we're like, that's why I said, like, I don't judge. Like, I'm not sitting there saying, oh, LeBron lost 6 times in the finals. There's no, like, I'm just saying that I watched both guys, and I just think that Jordan's a better player. So what I'll say is this:
what in the game of basketball? Sorry, and I want you to continue. What in the game of the basketball that you see that Michael Jordan does that LeBron James can't even sniff his shoes or whatever?
I'm gonna say 3 things that I think Jordan does better than Bron. I think are really like is what kind of separates him. I think that, obviously he's a better scorer, even though I do think that Bron will take the all-time scoring, but that's more of like a longevity instead of like at your peak.
Do you know who's actually more efficient from the field and the 3-point line, LeBron or Jordan?
Yeah, but Zeem, that's what I wanted to get to. You stopped me. So Jordan is better. Jordan is a better scorer. Jordan's a better defender, and I think that Jordan is a little bit more relentless. And what I mean by that is I think that Bron kind of has that. When you grow up and you're bigger than everybody, you kind of have that like, hey, let's all do our thing, like play nice kind of thing. Where once Jordan sees it, he's like over and over and over, like I'm gonna attack this dude, I'm gonna kill this dude, whether that's on offense or defense. And so when you talk about efficiency, like where the game has moved, like LeBron's gonna have more like a better field goal percentage, because it's just where the game has moved. So, like I was telling Sean, I'm like, yo, Jordan scored 45 in that game. So to provide context, like you want, Pippen was hurt. Rodman was like on his last leg, couldn't do much, didn't score.
He didn't even start.
Bro, so I just think that Jordan was like, yo, I'm just going for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, so like, and so I think sometimes, like we as fans growing up worshiping Mike, wish that we were like worshiping Kobe. Even a Shaq was mean in his prime. He's dominating you, he's beating you up, giving you the ball every single time. I think that sometimes we long for that feeling from Bron, where he's like, yo, I'm just going in attack mode, like he did in Game 6 versus the Celtics. That first game versus the Warriors, where he put up 50-something points. And I don't hold that against him. I think he's a great player. And like, I'm not looking at the numbers, because in the 80s, the game was like this. 9 early 2000s, it starts to slow down, slow. Then with the Phoenix Suns, it starts to pick back up to where we are now. So the numbers are the art of numbers, but I think that watching it, and even his numbers are so astronomical. Jordan, to me, is the best player ever. If you want to say Bron's the greatest ever, fine. I'm not going to argue with you because I'm at the point now where LeBron is not what he was. So right now, he's not at his peak. So I don't think he's going to get any better. And LeBron at his best and Jordan at his best, I'm Jordan. Can I move us to the next topic? Or you want some more? You want
all right, we can move. I just want to say LeBron James, to me, in the game of basketball and everything that it entails and moving the game forward, why he's, the players around him are so appreciative of the player flexibility and the player control, and why it's so much a players league now. LeBron James did that. So when I look at LeBron, I look at it as a total package of what he does on the court, off the court, front office wise, contractual wise, the player options, the 2+1 years, things of that nature.
No,
he created that.
So let me ask you a follow-up question to that. Do we give Jordan credit for creating a whole sneaker market for dudes? Yes. Hold on.
Absolutely.
And we also have to give him credit to where salaries were in his stardom, expanding the league. If you go back and look at the numbers from where the salary cap, if you look at where the salary cap was rookie year to where it was, let's say last year in '98, or if you want to count Wizard years 2001.
No, we have to count. That's part of his playing career.
No, but what I'm saying is, I was trying to help your argument. So if you look at the salary cap, what the number was in '84 to where it was in 2001, 2002, he is the player most responsible for exploding player salaries because he got so many eyeballs nationally and internationally. So he's done just as much as Bron, and I'm not taking away from Bron because I think Bron's great for what he does for other players and outside the game. But Jordan took these dudes from making $800,000 a year, $1 million a year, to where like KG signed a deal so big they had to lock everybody out and put the max salary in.
And look at what
I wish Scottie Pippen can say amen to what you're saying, but he can't say that about LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan. But J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, to name a few, they could say that about LeBron James.
But the thing is, that's people.
Don't let that go over your head. Don't let that go.
Don't let it go over your head. Bill Russell did. So Bill Russell can't say, yo, I got all these dudes paid, but Bill Russell can say, yo, I stood up and got us.
And Michael Jordan. We're talking about Michael Jordan.
No, but you don't follow logic. Oh my, yo.
Yeah, you don't know enough about it.
Hold on, Sean.
You don't know enough about it. That's what
logic is what I'm saying is that
he plays with so many different people that, like, yeah, he gets people paid, but you got to understand, like, in the league, while Jordan was in the league on the Wizards days, there's a thing called Jordan brand that's going on in baseball, that's going on in football, that's going on in basketball. Derek Jeter, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd, the list goes on. There used to be a website where all of them put in the black athletes on a platform to get
Nike. That's Nike. That's Nike.
Look at CP3's career. Look at Carmelo Anthony.
Jordan brand's actually Jordan.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a branch off Nike.
Nah, but Jordan brand
he doesn't know
branch off Nike.
He don't know what he's talking about.
It's a branch off Nike.
Nah, but
I never see no LeBron James brand. I never see.
Yo, my point is that I can't say, well, LeBron did this and Mike couldn't do this when there's like almost a 30-year gap in when their career started. And if you look at what Bill Russell couldn't get Sam Jones and all these other dudes paid, but Bill Russell put his foot down and said, yo, we're not going to play the All-Star game unless you allow us to have a union. Because before that, they didn't have a union. So everybody who's a star in the league has a responsibility to move the game forward on and off the court. If you look at what Bill Russell did, what Magic did, what Jordan did, and now what LeBron did, it's all in the same family tree. It's just that sometimes we just look at what's right in front of us and we don't look back to see why we can even do that.
Yo, Zeem, be real. What age you really started focusing in on basketball?
Oh God. Oh God.
Not jokes. You're trying to have jokes. I can't.
Yo, because like you're an old dude. Like
I'm not
you're an
doing
older
that.
dude,
And I think that's what comes into play where you have your phone and Google and emotions are behind it. And this is why it's just different levels. So
I don't know.
I can speak, and this is my biggest thing. And this is my biggest thing. And this is why I'll credit you guys. You guys say read up, I read up, you discredit it. Listen to podcasts, and listen to podcasts, you discredit it. Listen to this guy, listen to that guy, I listen to it, you discredit it. Then I just talk as a novice, because at the end of the day, I'll give you guys your credit. You guys go hand with your Google searches and your arguments and do everything that you need to do. And I just go off eye tests and what I see in my phone on regular basis. And then you guys denounce that. There's no winning with people who think that they created basketball.
So
you two gentlemen.
Zeem,
so I'll let it go, but I'm just going off the novice.
Let me ask you this.
Why people argue?
Why would you trust your eye test when you're comparing guys who his last prime season you were 11 years old? That's what I'm saying. Like,
but we have YouTube, we have video, we have The Last Dance, we have things that.
So The Last Dance, they make
a lot of information.
Great.
But what I'm saying, Z, is that so before you got on, I'm saying like, yo, like even me, I'm 35. Jordan's last prime year, I was 13. Like I remember watching the games, I remember everything that happened, but you don't watch the game the same way as you do now. So
absolute fact.
So like I like talking to my pops about it. He's 72. He's been watching basketball in the NBA since. He'll say, well, when you talk about GOAT, you got to talk about Bill Russell. You got to talk about Wilt Chamberlain. You got to talk about Kareem. You got to talk about Jordan. You got to talk about Magic. You got to talk about Bird. You got to talk about Bron. You got to talk about Kobe and Shaq. So he's telling me all these different things of like, so a lot of it is we're just biased to our era. Like, yo, Nick Wright is a talented dude, a smart dude, and I like watching him on TV. But he's our age. Like you can't even gain in appreciation where you have like guys who are way older saying like, yo, Isaiah Thomas hates Mike and says, yo, Kareem's the best. Because he's seen how they had to change the rules in college for Kareem. How when Kareem came in the league his second year, he was the NBA Finals. So like, it's not always fair to just meet because I can just say like, hey, the best guy I seen is either Kobe or Bron and just shut everything out and none of that matters because them are the guys that put these 4 eyes on. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to give each era their due and what they accomplished. Yep.
And my thing is, I like to listen to the Barkleys and Shaqs, even though they may not say articulated how like a Nick Wright or someone else, because a lot of these dudes are media players. They're not athletes, they're fans. Like, what is Nick Wright? Nick Wright's he's a LeBron fan. He probably grew up loving the guy. So his argument's always gonna be angled towards that. Sometimes I have to take the perspective alongside with that of somebody that also was in that position and say, hey, let me see what they like. Kendrick Perkins, like, yes, he was in the NBA, but he's a dude that probably for his whole career probably wanted to be like a Shaq or a LeBron. So you know what I'm saying? So I always
discredit the messenger. I get it. Yep, I got it. Yep, discredit.
I'll take it. So Zeem, let me ask you a question. Who you gonna listen to? The paper boy at Hope or the dude that scored 30 touchdowns at Hope? That's who you gonna
30 touchdowns, obviously.
All right.
But then sometimes you guys discredit those guys. It's like it's a non-win. All of a sudden they have an agenda. But let me tell you this, and I know this is going to be controversial, but it just has to be said. Rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant. This is no disrespect to him. But there's a reason why he's never brought up in these GOAT conversations. And the reason why is because you guys, you know, the educated basketball players will have to tell me the time when Kobe Bryant was considered the best player in the NBA. And unfortunately, wait. In his longevity, he was never considered the best player in the NBA. And him having only one MVP, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but that's why I'm asking you guys. I think that there's a reason why he's never brought up.
Kobe, if you could remember back in those times, Kobe was one of the most hated athletes, especially after that whole rape situation, that Shaq situation. He wasn't liked. They said he was a ball hog. They said he didn't pass, like he's the worst kind of teammate. So that narrative. So he really was that generation's Kyrie, if we're being honest. As far as like people like hating on him.
No. I think it was. I think that just for me being such a Lakers fan, like yo, I remember that picture. I remember his mugshot on the cover of Sports Illustrated, bro. Yo, my mom seen that and started crying, bro. Like, yo, the hate for Kobe was so intense.
He was hated.
But
okay.
Zeem, I'll say this. I think from 2004 to like, when did LeBron win his first MVP? Was it 2009?
2009.
Yeah.
I'll say for those 4 or 5 years, if you ask like dudes in the NBA, if you ask analysts, they'll say it was Kobe, and I'll give Kobe the same berth. I'll give Bron, where Giannis won the last 2 MVPs, but I still think that Bron's a better player than Giannis, especially in a series or if you're trying to put together a squad. I still feel that way.
I just know that is the reason why. Like everyone, I heard in recent days, because it always just happens with LeBron, like, what? When did he pass Kobe? When did he pass Kobe? And it's just more of like, well, when you only have one league MVP, you only been in the top 3 of the league MVP 3 times in how many years he played? 17, 19? So that, people use that against him. But fair enough, fair. It could be a narrative thing, because you're right, Doc. These media guys do control a lot of it. But when I'll admit, I heard that on a podcast with Brian Windhorst, and the guy articulated himself very well. I didn't take into context of how much he was hated. Yes, obviously, I was watching basketball at that time. I knew the Colorado thing, but I didn't think it was to that point where, regardless of what he did off the court, your eyes is telling you on the court, he is a top 3 player in the league, and he wasn't revered that. And I think he
was, though, Z, because you got those commercials when they was doing like the Muppets. They won them 3 years. Kobe went to the chip. It was supposed to be a Kobe versus Bron dynasty, but LeBron just didn't. Not even taking a shot. He just never got there. It was a spiky rollout.
But the Kobe Shaq thing is so unique. I think Shaq is so unique because Shaq only has 1 MVP, and if I'm keeping a band like Shaq from when Jordan retired to probably 2003, Shaq was by far the best guy in the league. He was bro.
How do you stop him?
Think about this, right? So Shaq won the MVP in 2000. And then Iverson won it in 2001. And I love AI. AI is a monster, but he ain't nowhere near as good as Shaq was, even though he's a smaller guy, blah, blah, blah. And then who won it in 2002? Was it like Jason Kidd or something like that? Like, come on, man. Like those guys aren't even in his weight class, talent-wise. So, Zeem, your point's well taken, where I think that Bron, and the thing is, too, you have to understand that a lot of times, like, you know how we say, music can define an era and how you think about it and stuff like that. I think that this new younger generation, probably a little bit younger than us, maybe even younger than Doc, all they know is LeBron. And LeBron's greatest asset is his greatest weakness in this argument. People disparage him, but he's been in the finals 11 times. 11 times, right?
Yeah, count.
4 and 6.
I'm thinking, do people even take so he
10 times.
And people, like, all the eyeballs are on the finals. So he's been playing deep into the playoffs for like 9-10 years. And so that's his greatest thing. But then a lot of people have lose. So it's like the win-win. You have all the eyes on you, but then, you don't always win. So I think Jordan is so loved is because Jordan just had all those eyeballs on him and kept winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, people didn't think that Jordan could bleed, bro. Like, so I think that's part of the narrative that works against LeBron.
I don't know, man. Listen, you know what makes me angry? KD can go to the finals. Let's say they win it. KD's 3-0 in the finals. He's better than LeBron. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
They don't say that, Zeem. They don't say.
I'm just saying
that.
it's gonna stop picking it up. So you can go to the finals every other year or whatever. Like it's like to me, you get an opportunity.
Zeem, honestly, I think that there's really no debate. If you say KD is better than LeBron, I think that you just have an angle or trying to make.
You have anger towards LeBron.
Huh? Yeah.
I said then you have anger towards
I'm going to
LeBron.
move us to another topic so we can have some constructive conversation. Dak Prescott goes down, man. And, I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan at all. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan. But watching that, I felt something different than I do when, like, a lot of guys get hurt. NFL so used to guys getting hurt, get carted off, we on the next play. But that injury, it was so gruesome. And then, like, seeing him cry and seeing both teams coming over to him, you know what he means to that team. You know what he means to the NFL, and you see how the guys feel about him. I don't know. I felt something different. Like, I felt real sadness for him. How'd you guys feel when you saw him getting carted off?
I think that sadness came to play because you just know all the circumstances that this guy's been through the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Obviously losing his mother a couple of years ago. Then he just recently lost his brother to, suicide. God rest his soul. Then on top of that, he's been a model citizen, never missed a game, never missed a practice. 4th round pick, the most successful Cowboys in recent history in the last 20 years since Troy Aikman. And not for nothing, I hate to always bring this in, but he's African-American, and he did not get the same gratitude of security financial-wise from Jerry Jones like he did with Tony Romo. So he put up better numbers than Tony Romo, more success than Tony Romo, more playoff wins than Tony Romo, and Tony Romo, without a hitch, got that security, and then he didn't as well. So a lot of those things factor in, and at the end of the day, he's just a genuinely nice dude, player-friendly, guys like him around the league. So it's just tough. But I don't feel bad for him in the sense of contractual-wise. There was an offer there. He rolled the dice. He gambled. He took the, franchise tag, and he had to accept it, but he didn't want to sign it. He accepted a franchise tag, and unfortunately, under those circumstances, the $31.4 million is guaranteed, but he bet on himself. He bet on his durability and not getting injured, and unfortunately, in the most violent contact game, he got injured, and it sucks that it's here right now, but it's here right now, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I feel like it's like, damn, man, like that dude ain't never gonna get paid now, or at least what he was worth. So it's just like you just hate to see stuff like that. Obviously, everything he's been through too, just black quarterback. You don't want to see him go down the way he went down. But I mean, that's why I don't know. Like, that's a good question. Like, what do you do? Do you go at the first offer? Like, how do you go about that? Like, it's just like, damn, like, I feel like I'm worth this, but this could happen. So do I just take the first thing they throw at me? Like, do I ask out? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy situation.
Think about it. Prime an example. A couple of years ago, there's a reason why Earl Thomas stuck up his middle finger to the Seattle Seahawks when they didn't want to sign him, and he got hurt, torn his ACL. He was able to bounce back and get a nice money from the Baltimore Ravens, whatever the case may be. But that's the dice. This is why people hold out. This is why Le'Veon Bell held out. This is why Zeke held out. So it's just bizarre that a quarterback, because that was only the 4th time in NFL history a quarterback has played under a franchise tag. Kirk Cousins has 8. Kirk Cousins in the last 4 years had made the most money in the NFL by betting on himself, and it worked out for him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Dak. And at the end of the day, NFL is the most gruesome. NFL stands for not for long. And, I hope Dak gets his money. I hope they do franchise tag him so he can get another $38 million, and that's $69 million in 2 years. But it's tough for me to think Jerry Jones will give him money coming off a compound fracture when he didn't want to give him that type of money after having a successful, well, 8-8 is not successful yet, but
Yeah,
just being
good stats.
Good stats, exactly.
I think that the thing about a Dak Prescott is somebody will pay him. There's 32 teams in the league. Half the quarterbacks that start suck. So he's going to get paid by somebody. I hope that if he wants to be in Dallas, I hope they can come to some kind of agreement. I think that I just think that the stability that Dak provides the organization is worth the contract, because we see how it can be when you don't have that quarterback. And Dallas been through that. You know what I'm saying? Remember the Quincy Carter years, the Drew Bledsoe experiment. So I think that Jerry might buckle, especially if the passing game doesn't look how it's supposed to look. But how do you guys feel about the schedule being topsy-turvy with all this COVID-related news?
As a huge FanDuel advocates, we're on top of it, and we're paying attention to it. And this whole pandemic, man, like what it's doing to the sports world, education world, business world, social world, it's unprecedented like no other. And to see that a billion-dollar industry like the NFL is struggling with COVID tests and they have all the resources, it's just not looking promising moving forward. I know they're trying their best. I know they have the protocols in place, but at the end of the day, I didn't mind having a football game on a Tuesday. I was like, usually don't have it. So as a fan, I was okay with it, but I know as a player it could be frustrating. And you heard Ben Roethlisberger pissed off about it. You know what I mean? Because his bye week's different, preparation is different. Scheduling is different, time travel is different. So at the end of the day, man, this COVID thing it's crazy at this point. So I don't know, man. God bless America and America's number one sport, football, because it's gonna take one. Like the Tennessee Titans, they skated through. But let's say this was 4 or 5 teams. That NFL schedule is screwed. They was able to contain it with the Patriots and the Titans. And, luckily the Titans and the Broncos had the same bye week, so they was able to flip it. But God forbid we get 4 to 5 more teams, the NFL schedule will be screwed. They was thinking about cutting it down to 12 games and then starting the playoffs just to try to expedite it before real flu season comes. So just be on the lookout for a lot of changes. And right now, Goodell and the NFLPA are working together hand in hand on plan B, C, D, E, F, and G.
Shout out to FanDuel, man.
And FanDuel's straight. But no, they're under a lot of pressure, I feel, because you saw the NBA go get through it with no cases. You saw hockey get through it with their championship, and then now you're seeing baseball a series away from the World Series, and they kind of fought through it. So I just think that would be tough to kind of be the only sport to not have a season continue because of COVID. I feel like Trump put a lot of pressure on football being a thing when he mentioned it during the debate. So I just feel like they're gonna, unfortunately, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of changes, Tuesday games, that's just the risk you have to take while having a season during this pandemic. It's gonna have to deal with changes on the fly. I think Belichick was saying it, things change by the day, even by the hour. So you just got to be ready.
Yeah, I saw something that they said that they might start working on bubbles. So I mean, I think that if Zeem brought up a good point where the schedules kind of worked out because everyone kind of still has their bye week. But now as we get further in along in the season, I think that the luxury of the bye week, you're either gonna have to extend the season or they have to bubble up if they want to finish, because the NFL owners want to get every last dollar, but they don't want to sacrifice that TV money just to get an extra 10,000 fans in the seats a week. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how the next 3 weeks go. Because one suggestion I heard that I liked, and we spoke about it briefly in the group chat, where they take like a 2-week break, and while they're like developing like different regional bubbles, and they kind of like go like that, where now everyone's quarantined up. You know, they have the Dallas area, they'll have an LA one, they'll have one on the East Coast, and they'll move around like that. Me personally, like, hey, like, if the NFL is the only league that can't get through their season, I think it makes so much sense because football they feel like they're king and they're at the height of arrogance, very American. Feeling that that they're untouchable, our product can't be stopped. We're gonna play hella high water. I let Patrick Mahomes get COVID before a week before the playoffs, and now things are gonna be thrown into all kind of flux. So I'm interested to see what they do. Because I think that they have been doing the best they can with the protocols and the testing, but I don't know, and I don't want these old ass coaches to like die on the sideline. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think the bubble aspect is gonna work moving forward with the NFL. It's just too many moving parts, too many equipments, too many trucks, too many X, Y, and Z. Like it was crazy when I heard the Titans only practiced 2 times in the last 2 weeks. And that's why that win against the Buffalo Bills is so impressive last night, because of they had to close down the facilities. And then now we have to look at the Patriots. Bill Belichick just closed down the facilities the last 2 days as well. So, it's just interesting to see. It's going to be a lot of factors, but I do like your point. America's number one sport, not getting through it. And I'm 50-50 because I don't want to get political with it, whatever the case may be. I want to see it go through because of FanDuel, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
crazy.
Yeah, that chat is I never seen nothing like this. I blame Doc for all I've been trying to go on a straight and narrow path. Man, shout out Nem, shout out Mookie, Mike, Avery, J.A., Rodney, Doc, Professor, aka Sensei. Like it goes on and on and on, man. Listen, when I come back to 80 and it's that chat, oh yeah, my man Obi too. Let me not forget.
Don't listen. He'll get mad. Don't forget about Obi.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the NFL is gonna do. They have the top resources. They'll figure it out. But like I said, if it gets to 4 to 5 teams, we're having a whole different conversation. Right now, they're able to maintain it. 0 positive tests for the Titans. That's why they was able to play. But then they was missing 2-star players. Corey Davis and it was Fernando, like what? Yeah, somebody prominent on that team.
What do you guys think? Do you guys? So if you had to bet all your FanDuel winnings on the season ending, getting all the way through, do you guys think the NFL gets all the way through?
Yeah. They're gonna push through.
They're gonna have that season, man.
What about college?
College.
I think they'll let teams just drop off before. Like it got to be like, they like you got to understand, like you said, like Americans, like those dudes that's in charge, they don't want to have to live through "I told you so" moment. So they'll make excuses before they cancel it.
Because Florida, like half their team got it, and they said that they got it from the dude's wife.
Mullins, right?
Yeah. The guy from the coach.
That's
like,
crazy.
That's so crazy. Because she be.
What is the wife doing around the teammates anyway? Or maybe he gave it to the coach, or I don't even know.
Calls everybody. She's like the team mom. That's crazy.
Jesus
Hold on. Go. What you gonna say?
Well, no, I was just gonna say it's definitely gonna be no bowl season, no championship game, no rankings, nothing like that to end the season. I think that's what is going to be eliminated. And if they lose that revenue, all this is going to be for nothing. And
Isn't that what they're aiming to play for right now, though?
That's why you have these different rankings. But how can you legitimize a ranking if LSU and Florida game never even happens? You know what I mean? Like a team like a Florida needs that win. Now you got Nick Saban. Right, exactly. They're gonna be like, no, we're number one every year. You have Nick Saban, Alabama coach. God forbid they lose a game. Well, we didn't have our head coach there. Like, there's too many factors in to say you're number one, you're number two, you're number three, you're number four, and that's where they really make all the money. And they're gonna be sick. They're gonna be
Yo,
sick.
I think that I think college sports more than the NFL because the players are getting paid. So they're like, all right, I'm gonna take these 2 or 3 months and just kind of stay in my crib or whatever, because I'm making $3 million, there's $6 million, there's $8 million. My signing bonus is $100 grand. I need that. I think that the college teams are so large and you can't monitor it as much, and the kids are more immature. I think that as time goes and the COVID cases go up, because we've seen that they're going up everywhere, I think it's gonna be hard to like field teams and like 7 guys got COVID here, 9 guys got COVID there. We got to shut everything down. The coach got COVID. The whole coach is like, I just think that's going to be tough. So I'm interested to watch it because I love a good mess. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to watch. Speaking of mess, a dude that I really grew up really thinking was a monster, a beast out here, a hip hop legend. And when I say that this dude's a hip hop legend in my mind, he is a hip hop rap legend. Ice Cube. Ice Cube has been accused of working with the Trump campaign on their platinum plan, which is geared towards African Americans. Fellas, he said that, hey, I reached out to both. The Trump campaign decided to pick up a few things that added to their plan. What's you? How do you feel about it?
At the end of the day, like, he's a businessman. Like, you know, he gonna go with whoever gonna give him more leverage on his side. I get why it's not gonna look good and, like, you know, in our community, but all in all, man, that's something that they're gonna be upset at. Like, you know, short term and long term, he'll be fine. But I feel like that's hard to like really judge or speak on unless you're in that position. Like, you know, so we don't know what's going on in those rooms. We don't know, like, you know, if he's ever telling the truth, if it's really the benefit of us or it's to really get his pockets fat. We'll never know.
Yep.
But like them type of things is just tough to comment on unless it's like blatant in your face. So that's just kind of how I feel about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Ice Cube right now. He's low key heated at, you know, the Trump campaign and how they try to use it in the headline. And they, you know, once I see multiple tweets with that slogan at the end, what was it? Something about you hating, and I forget. I would have to look at the tweet again. I know you sent it in the chat. I'll get back to it, but I agree with that. At the end of the day, it's all about optics, and the optics of it right now does not look promising. But if it's what he articulated and said, you know, the Dems said, hey, we like the plan, but we want to wait till after the election. And Trump, to me, maybe in his campaign, use it as a political ploy. Like, hey, we got the guy who said F the police on our side and working with us, and Mr. West Side, Mr. Vaseline, you know what I mean? Dub City to rock out with us and give us the plan that's going to help all African Americans. Obviously, you just know it's a political headline ploy, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give Ice Cube the benefit of the doubt because he came quick with that response video, and he was saying a whole lot of nothing, but he was saying something.
A word salad, as we call it.
Yeah, it was hilarious. No.
Yeah, like I feel weird about it. So I'm gonna say this. I think that if Ice Cube is really going into it with good intentions, like, yo, I'm trying to get something for black people, this dude might actually be president again. So let's try to get something better than nothing, even though I don't really like the dude. And then, like Sean said, he might be doing it for his own benefit. The dude's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I seen some of Artemis Gordon's posts, and, you know, he's saying that Cube is funny style. I don't know. You know, we gotta give our black celebrities the benefit of the doubt.
Here's a tweet. Here's a tweet right here. Shout out to Ice Cube for his willingness to step up and work with the real Donald Trump administration to help develop the platinum plan. And then obviously there's a link. So this is the quote I was talking about. Leaders gonna lead. haters are gonna hate. Thank you for leaving. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could tell that they emphasized and infiltrated of what they was trying to present out there, especially with the whole platinum plan, like, you know,
That's
music
nasty.
industry.
Platinum
Yeah,
plan's
it's
nasty.
just, like I said, it's just rhetoric, and like I said, everything right now is so politicized. It's crazy at this point. But at the end of the day, we try to do it with Kanye West. Since that last time Kanye West linked up with Trump, he's worth $5 billion now.
I know.
Ray Lewis did the same thing. Steve Harvey got 3 new shows after that. So it's just like we got to stop this. You know what I mean? And I always tell you guys this. Me personally. When I used to work third shift, I used to love The Apprentice. I was a Donald Trump fan before he even got into politics. So it's crazy for me to think like he entertains me, but I don't believe what his values.
It's so crazy too. I've been on Dat Piff listening to like old like battles and Jay-Z. Like they all name drop Trump. Like that's their man.
Yeah, like so it's just weird because you see these people, you don't know them personally, what they really have in their heart. They're entertainers. So I find Trump to be an entertainer. He entertains me, but obviously my views and my thoughts on everything doesn't align with him. So I can't start killing everybody. And that I don't want to become that person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna judge you for you, not who you politically support, I guess. I don't know.
So let me ask you guys this question. Somebody asked me this question and it put me in a real conundrum. Word of the day. If you knew, so let's say Joe Biden said, hey, when I get elected, I'm going to eliminate this program, which provides the funding for your job right now. And Trump says, hey, we're going to just keep this program going for the next 4 years. Who you voting for?
Say that again. Ask that again.
All right.
I heard it.
So let's say Joe Biden says, hey, Sean, or just says in a thing like, hey, as soon as I get in the office, I'm going to eliminate the program that provides funding for your job. So your job's going to be eliminated and not come back. Whereas Trump says, hey, we're not going to touch it. It's gone already. I'm going to leave it in place for the next 4 years. Who for?
You have to vote for the guy I think that's how you should vote. You know what I'm saying? For the guy that's going to help. That's how most people vote, I feel, for the guy that's going to help you out.
Yeah.
So I'm laughing because it's like, I'm sorry, I got to vote for Trump in this scenario that you presented because that's my livelihood. You know what I mean? And I think that's how people should stop viewing it. If you honestly, sincerely think that this candidate, and I'm just talking presidential all the way down, benefits you and your livelihood, I can't knock you. But what I'm coming to find out, and when I talk to that political party supporters, they have no reason. Like they just like that's sort of like I really try to get a logic out of them in regards to what is he doing that's going to benefit X, Y, and Z.
I think too. What I've heard
tell you why.
Huh? And they can't tell me why. That's my issue.
What I've heard from people too is just and don't say no names, but like from like a Hispanic kind of background was Trump is blunt, but we're gonna make money with Trump, not realizing that when they're thinking of these businesses, they may think of it as their own personal businesses, more so that these larger corporations that are still gonna get paid, not our local shops that are gonna benefit from it. So I think that's the disconnect behind it.
Yeah, a lot of it's reading between the lines. So like I like Zeem sometimes. So there's this conservative dude who sometimes I watch his stuff. He's from Iran. It's him, a Democratic dude, and then they rotate the different guests that come on the podcast. And the reason, so the way I came to know him was him and Kobe had a great 3-hour conversation where it wasn't political. We were just talking about life and sports, things like that. But he'll have people on and like the conservative guy will be like, well, we need Trump because we need to create more jobs. And that's like basically just saying like, hey, we want to give breaks to the large corporations. A lot of people can't read through that. They'll say, well, 55 to 60% of the people who are 18 plus or working age, they invest in the stock market. So that's why the stock market's important. When in actuality, the large percent of those people, they don't have a brokerage account. They don't have a stock profile. It's just their 401k, and they don't even know what's going on there. They just put money in. So like you have to be able to get to like the word salad. So so a lot of people really can't see through that, and they think that, oh yeah, like they're gonna create jobs. No, they're really not. Oh, the stock market goes up, I get rich. No, the stock market goes up, you make $400 in your 401k, whereas some other dude is gonna make 400,000. So
yeah,
you can't give you no answer. Like I said, that's why when I'm in public, I don't even talk politics. I don't talk religion. I don't talk about abortion, and I don't talk about homosexuality and that. I leave those topics alone because a lot of times people think they know what they're talking about, but they really don't. They're going off emotions and what the wave is and what their town is and what this. So it's just like, what? I want to judge you for you. So let's not talk about those. So let's talk about, DJ hitting his home run or something. Like, I just told you guys that towards the baseball practice, they started talking about it. I was like, come on, Diddy, let's go take a walk. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I don't want to view you guys in that light or what you potentially might say, because first of all, I know that they're not doing their due diligence and educating themselves. And then I don't want to think that their thought process aligns with some of the racist rhetoric that I feel that is going on in this country during these political times. And I think me personally, like I told you guys, I can't say Biden is coming into office and doing something that Trump isn't or is not doing. I just know, me personally, in his last 4 years, it's been heightened and blatant of just discrimination, unjust police brutality, and racism. And this is why it doesn't even have to be Joe Biden. It could be Kamala Harris. It could be Warren. What's her name? What's a Warren?
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren. It could be anybody. It could be Mike Pence and him taking over. I don't know. It's just something is going on right now where racism to me is at an all-time high. Stereotype is at an all-time high.
And not for nothing, if Trump was just different and didn't push that racist agenda, they would probably view him as the illest president to ever exist.
Facts. Because he'd be saying some wild stuff that he'd just be like, yo, I like the fact that and I think that's why he has a fan base of just people just genuinely like him, just like, whoa, this dude is crazy. Like, he is wow. This is not traditional presidential like, but then I just can't get jiggy with the underlying stuff that he's trying to push out there. And it's blatant with it. It is what it is. That's what got him elected in 2016. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
For sure, man. One thing I want to end on, one thing I thought was funny, I kind of want to share with y'all, and I want you guys to listen to it later. So the Joe Budden podcast came back today. So after I listened to this podcast, listen to that one. So if you have Spotify, he's actually back on Spotify. You can skip to the point. So he calls up Bria Miles.
Miles, yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yo, listen. That is him and Maul and Rory are acting like three schoolgirls that are talking to like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me like these like Instagram joints, when you're like around them, are just so elite.
Yeah.
Elite. Like, Bria been the joint since like, Drake made a song about her, right? On his first.
Yeah.
Bria's interlude, and she's a bad joint. I just know, like, Joe is like, he's like, you gonna be in Atlanta? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, do something. And Maul's like, oh, you're gorgeous. Oh, Instagram post, you're beautiful.
Like, the funniest part with Rory said, well, I'm not gonna objectify you. I think you're beautiful and this. And she goes, thanks, Ian.
Called him Ian.
Yeah, because
yeah,
she thought that because Ian's Joe's agent. Or
yeah. Another white
then
man.
when she found out it was Roy, she was like, oh my God, really? And Mo, don't be saying his name like that. I was
right.
And then they put a homegirl on the phone. Yo, it really reminded me of being like in high school, bro.
Yeah. That was actually a little funny ass segment. Are you going to DC? Like, no, for real. If you go to DC, let me know when you're going to DC because I'll meet you up in DC. Like, and it was dead ass serious. And she was humble. She was cool. I never keep it a bug. I never even heard her talk before. So that was my first time. And she seemed like she has a cool down to personality.
Oladipo.
Yeah, she did Oladipo. She probably thought that was the one. Two African people. You know what I'm saying? She thought that was the one. Vic was like,
they
hey,
about
man,
to make some Wakanda babies. Crazy. That's what they was on that time. But yeah, that was a good episode. So, so to my understanding, I'm very happy for Joe. Joe got his own network. He's able to put it on any DSP platform. Like Spotify doesn't own those rights anymore.
Yep.
So obviously he's still going to use that platform. What I noticed as well, obviously Spotify always made him wait 2 to 3 days before they dropped the visual. Yep, he dropped it early today. He got the other female podcast. So it seems like he got his ducks in his row in regards to what he's trying to do and monetizing it and getting Cash App to sponsor him and all this nonsense that's going on. So hopefully that continues. I really hope he is profiting off of what, you know.
Oh, yeah, they're making money over there. One thing that I like, I like Bridget Kelly because I liked her when she came on the podcast with him. She's gonna have a better podcast career than she did music career.
I remember Bridget Kelly. She was on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I just want to make sure that's the same Bridget Kelly. All right. And she's a singer, so she's an artist.
Yo, she went on. I remember she was signed to Rock Nation when we went to go see Jay-Z. It was J. Cole.
Oh, yeah, yep.
She was singing all the hooks for him.
Alicia Keys, the Alicia Keys hook, New York. Yeah. Okay. So I know Bridget Kelly. I got to check it out because I heard the first one was protect Black women at all costs. And speaking of that, before we really go. So Josh, we got some new information about Tory Lane, the charges. Meg Thee Stallion is on a little media run in New York Times, SNL. Can we get a little update of where your head is at in regards to all that's going down in that situation?
So I just think that I don't want to bring it up and talk about it again because it's just I'm more firm now in my belief that something that he did something to her. But one thing that I don't like is that as I get older and older, I'm not so much into the punishment culture. So sometimes it's hard for me to be damn, people rooting to see Tory in jail. And so part of me is well, if he shot the girl, he deserves to be there. And part of me is damn, this dude might have to go to jail for, he's not gonna go for the full 22 years, but he might have to go for a year, 18 months, 2 years, 2.5 years. So I just think that I look at the comments and I just think that to be completely honest, I just think that protect Black women is really just a hashtag. I don't think that a lot of people subscribe to it. I'm looking at the comments and you don't know on academics page and just listen to the shade room because on academics page they're calling him Marcus. Oh, he don't need a restraining order. You got a dick anyway. It's just I'm damn, bro. So. And I just don't want her career to be defined by this. Because I think that that's starting to be what's happening is that people are sick of hearing about this, whether you believe her or don't believe her, or you're just indifferent. You don't want to hear about it anymore.
And that's my next question. What is your view on how she's taken this particular situation in the last couple of weeks?
So I think that I heard a lot of dudes saying like, "Yo, you're a snitch. You want to see another black man in jail. Oh, you only care about protect black women because something bad happened to you." And maybe that's partially true. You know what I'm saying? Something did hit home with her, but then it's like, yo, you have a dude like Meek. You know what I'm saying? Who was under prison and false pretenses and said, yo, like, I'm going to fight to make sure that these injustices don't happen to other people who don't have the resources I do. So, I mean, I don't want to see her firmly just in that lane. I want her to do what she wants to do and make the songs she wants to make and stuff like that. But yeah, man, like Tory might have effed up dropping that album.
Why you think that?
Because it's just like, if the DA's office was kind of like, we got, we kind of got him, but let's just like, let's just see come and press charges and make a stink out of everything. And she was kind of quiet about it. And then Tory is like making an album, he's shooting videos, he's in New York, he's in Atlanta, like he's like, nana boo boo, like, what I'm saying? I didn't do it, da. So then either A, the DAs was like, all right, bro, watch this, or B, Megan was like, all right, I wasn't gonna snitch on you, but now I'm gonna write a statement and get you hemmed up. Or maybe he knew it was coming and he's like, yo, I need to make this quick 400, 500, 600,000 to be able to afford a lawyer.
Yeah, those are three different factors in it. Me personally, like I said, I'm a firm believer in more now that I really don't know what the hell went on and what happened. Because when you listen to her and read her articles, she's adamant. When you hear him speak in his post and posting up with his son and God this and all that music, it's just like, man, he is telling the truth. But just it makes me sit back as a fan, like I wasn't there. I don't know. I can't speak on it. All I can speak on is she did get hurt, and I want to get to the bottom of it. I hate the fact that he has to go through court and all that stuff, but I love the fact that public records is about to happen. Because at first I was like, man, this isn't my business. But hey, if you're going on this world tour about protect black women and he shot me in X, Y, and Z, and then Tory, you're doing the same. All right, now I really want to know what transpired. And I'm actually kind of happy that it's going to the courts and we'll get all that information that we just been blanked with IG Live and the album to figure out what the hell really happened during that time besides her sincerely getting hurt. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I had to ask you because there's a lot going on. Me personally, I don't like her. To me, you just said, oh, you don't like the fact that people is going to recognize her for this and notice her for that. But I feel like she is putting on that hat and running with it. She wants to be the face of protect black women thing and the face of this victim thing and being shot. Like she's the one to me in rebuttal to Tory, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say monetizing it because I don't want to diminish what she's actually doing because I think it is a good cause. But she is going on SNL. She is going on the New York Times. She has gone on. It was one more article.
She said in the New York Times, my like significant other or boyfriend, I forget the term. She said shot me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but she's like providing details. She's like saying like, yo, I was trying to get it. Like, yo, like I'll give you a perfect example, right?
But we knew all these details. She didn't share anything.
Hold on. I'll give you a perfect example, right?
To what we knew.
There was a girl on social media saying like, hey, like, and she's like saving all this stuff, saying like, yo, like this dude I'm dating is trying to kill me, and she's showing like screenshots, his picture, his Instagram handle where he's saying, bitch, I'm gonna kill you. I don't care. I'll kill you and your kid, blah, blah, blah. So, and like people are still saying, oh, you're making it up. Oh, you can doctor those screenshots. And maybe she is, but it's like, damn, like that's where your head goes. Like that's the first place your head goes. Like this girl saying like, yo, this dude is trying to kill me and my kid. And so
I feel like that's the low. Like if I got a text message that from Tory that said that says something. But like we just I'm not saying Megan Thee Stallion is lying, but then also I'm not gonna say Tory Lanez is lying. I just what I didn't get with, and what I will never get with, is the fact that just because she is a black woman, I'm automatically supposed to drop everything and say this is the truth because she's black and a woman. That just not me.
What about just a woman?
No, because a woman can say anything just like a man can say anything. If a man told you a woman shot you, are you supposed to believe him because he's a black man?
No, but what I'm saying, Dot.
I feel you on that Dot, and I get your premise. And then Jiggy, my only thing with that little example that you said was, why are you running to Twitter with that information? Go get help. Go to the police.
She's
like
saying,
that is
no, but she's saying that I have a restraining order. I've taken it to the furthest extent the law can take it. My premise of bringing that story up is like not saying like, hey, like, you know, she's not taking the proper steps, or it could be a lie. What I'm saying is that I'm looking at her mentions and people saying you're making it up, it's cap, and I'm like, damn, like, is that the first place your head goes? Because as we know, there are situations where women do lie. Like some women are evil, conniving, nasty, and they'll lie about stuff and they'll make up a story. But for the most part, when we're talking about domestic violence, like I was even listening. So I listened to that episode. I listened to the whole episode, but they said that like on average, a woman will get beat 6 or 7 times or assaulted 6 or 7 times before she even leaves, makes an attempt to leave, or like alerts the authorities.
That's true, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You brought up that's a fact, that does happen, but you also brought up that there's people that are evil and conniving. Like, how do you know when to listen versus not to listen? Or is it just the guy's just guilty until something comes out that's like damning enough to prove that he's innocent?
I'm not saying that if I just think that she, like, when we talk about like, well, Tory has no reason to lie. Meg, like, she's taken it to the nth degree. She's in the New York Times with it. She's on Saturday Night Live with it. And for all we know, she could be really lying and making this whole thing up. But just the situation and her having a gunshot wound or like shrapnel in both her feet and having double foot surgery, and then Tory Lanez's lawyer coming out and saying, "Well, she looked fine on Saturday Night Live." To me, like, it's just it just feels like.
But that was a ploy of.
But why would you say that? Why would you say that, bro? Like.
Yeah, I think that was more of, well, you know, obviously she's continuing on this thing with the ongoing investigation, and that's why I wanted to bring up to you, like, do you like her continuing on hopping? Like, to me,
I mean, I feel like she should, if it did actually happen to her.
She should.
He has Rock Nation behind her. Like, I feel like Jay-Z's doing the right thing by, like, you know, make your money off of it. You know what I'm saying? You can do it anyway, either way. But what I am saying is just like, that's just not a, like, if it's 4 people, if it's just her and Tory in the car and she walks with gunshot wounds and the dude saying he didn't shoot her, I'm like, all right, come on now. But it's nobody able to see nothing. It's 4 people there. It's just not. I just don't get where that logic comes from. Is that like a made up logic because you're black and a woman? It just automatically like you're telling the truth. Like black women don't lie; they just bypass that.
Nah, I don't think it's that. I just think that like it's just like when you look at the percentage of people who make stuff up versus the percentage of women who never come forward, or women who are beaten by their husband or boyfriend, beaten by their significant other. Like it's just like. And so she's coming out and saying like, yo, he did this to me. Like, so I'm just going to be like, all right, like, I mean, I don't think she's lying about it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing that makes it hard is that we like Tory Lanez's music. We love
not even like not
yeah. No, I don't want to even.
I think it makes it
to be real. I'm not even like I like Tory Lanez's songs, but to be real, I'm not even like the big, like, I love, that was my best project I've ever heard from Tory Lanez. The last project that he just put out. But other than that, I wasn't like the biggest, like, oh shit, Tory. I think if anything in our group, Bobby and Zeem are the biggest, like, you know, Tory Lanez fans when he come out. I don't really like jump for Tory, but I could more so like be like, all right, damn, if this dude had like if there was like history, if he like, she said, yo, he used to whip me, used to do something, like, it just one day he just said, yo, I'm just shoot you. Like, and that could be the case, but I need more than just to say, like, if some dude, and not for nothing, if she would have said it and he never said anything, I'd be like, damn, like, yo, this dude shot her. But if a dude come out and say, like, yo, I didn't do it, he could be lying, but ultimately, like, who am I to say, like, nah, because she's black and a woman, he got to be lying. She's telling the truth. I just will never abide by that.
I don't think that it's just because she's a black woman. I'm just looking at her as like a woman, like to protect black women is something like kind of like set aside that kind of like coincides with her story. But I just think that like I don't like I think that Jay-Z's seen this before and seen what happened with Rihanna and Chris Brown. And then if you look at like Chris Brown, like everything he had to go through to try to get back even in public, in like good graces to be where he is now. If we look at the trajectory that Chris Brown was on, like he had Wrigley's commercials, he's the next Michael Jackson, he has soft drink commercials, and he's never gonna be back to that level of being like this like pop phenomenon that we thought was gonna be the next huge Usher, selling 10, 15, 20 million records. Like, I just think that, like, I don't wish nothing bad on Tory, but I just think that I'm believing Meg for right now. I'm just going to choose to believe the victim. Like, but I'm not on social media saying F Tory, cancel him, like posting pictures saying like, yo, this dude's a clown, like get him out of here. Even though like I might have some of that sentiment, I'm not gonna be like, yo, get rid of this dude, throw him away until the process just takes its place. I've been saying that to you guys. And so sometimes I'm looking at people post, yo, I love Tory, this album is banging, this album's crazy. And I'm like, damn, like you don't even.
Yeah, but I think
you're way out there with
I think you know, as a human being, you're able to separate it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think what you did or try to do or you feel or whatever the case may be is if you listen to this music or this project or even trying to hear what he is trying to say or he didn't do it your way, then you're condoning a potential person who did X, Y, and Z.
And to stop you there, Zeem.
You know what I mean by that?
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So R. Kelly, like the facts was always in front of us. Like he tried to marry Aaliyah, like he pissed on that girl, and I always loved R. Kelly's music, but it wasn't, for me at least, I don't know about you guys, it wasn't until I saw that Surviving R. Kelly documentary, I was like, damn, this is what he was doing? Like, I won't even play this in my car no more. Like, I won't listen to this dude. If it comes on, I'm skipping it. I'm not playing. And I've been serious. I haven't listened to any R. Kelly ever since I saw that documentary. So sometimes, like, you know, it's not a matter of, like, you're not respecting the person. You're just not always aware of kind of what's going on until it's, like, broken down for you. And I think that's, like, you know, fair for some people. If Josh wants to say that, like, you know, he decides to believe her, the victim, that's cool. But and not saying that you do this, Josh, but I'm saying for others that want to criticize and like people that want to still listen to Tory or may believe Tory, I don't think that to believe Tory or to like still support Tory is the wrong thing to do either. It doesn't mean that you don't care about women. You just don't know enough yet. And then when you do get the actual facts that are out there, depending on what they are, then whatever I'm not saying that you should cancel Tory, never listen to him or speak of him again, but depending on how you push him moving forward, then I would think that would kind of say a lot about you.
Be able to sit on a certain side of the fence, you know what I mean, with some substantial
well,
stuff.
I don't. But let me ask you this, Zeem, to follow up to to what you asked me. You know, Dot made some good points, but what I'm saying is like when we talked about it in the chat, you're like, "Yo, listen to it." I'm like, "Oh, it's just not for me right now. I'm not running to it." I didn't be like, "Kazeem, how could you? You support women."
No. All right, you didn't do that, but when we was potting that day, and I you know, I always watch back pods.
Of course, you got to.
And your energy towards Triz, I, and Dot was, damn, you guys condone this, or you guys.
You said I know why, and I was like,
right, yeah. You've done a lot of like
But I'm just saying this.
I'm
I was just like, yo, I was just talking about it and I wasn't going there. But then you was like, how can you do this? And how can you do that? And and I'm like, yo, like for you to be that passionate about it, I thought the energy was coming from this direction. So
it was just more of,
but because I was
African American man, you should know that
we have public enemy number
giving
one.
our people, black and men, and this is why I love Triz's word of ideology. That's the ideology that's been screwing us over for years. And that's in the past. Whatever, we're past that. I'm just going off. That's why.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though. So we're saying like as black men, we're public enemy number one. We know we're not going to get a fair shake in the legal system, in the school system.
Right.
But black women also face a lot of the same things, just in kind of like ways. And then like, because of, not because black men are evil or because black men are this, but just because of proximity, we end up committing most crimes against black women just because of proximity. Just like white people, white men commit the most crimes against
Mexican to Mexican,
yeah.
Spanish on Spanish.
So I'm not, but what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to put myself in the perspective. Like we ask white people sometimes to put themselves in our shoes for just a minute and think about what we have to deal with, what we have to go through, what we faced, the uphill battles. So what I'm saying is like, I'm just putting myself in the woman's shoes, in this case, in Meg's shoes, and she's saying like, damn, like, I think she was trying to hold the dude down. It seemed like at first and didn't want to report it, but it kept getting brought up. He didn't do it. Yeah. You're lying. It's BS. You're making
and it goes back to what you was alluding to earlier and what she did. And remember, I had said this. She let the comment section, social media pressure her into that. Yes, we didn't get all the backdoor shade room, because I don't even remember shade room doing anything with that. But every
it
time
came out multiple
something,
stories that first she didn't get shot, then it was like she was super drunk and she attacked Tory, and then like that was like kind
right. But to me, I don't know. That didn't come like. Remember, we had Adam 22. Remember, we had
Jason Lee.
I don't want to. Jason Lee. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we had those avenues doing it. I don't know if she thought that Tory can't prompting them, but all I'm trying to say is, just like how you just mentioned, I'm reading the comments and they're saying this and it's just a hashtag and all. Like, stop reading the comments. These are idiots who go in there. That to me, if you leave a comment, to me,
right, let me ask you a question, right?
Does that make sense? What I'm saying, though?
No, I get what you're saying. No, I get it. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that the comment section is, that, okay, they're talking bad about me. You can turn your phone off. You cannot go on social media. You know what I'm saying? You can do things to kind of get yourself away from that. But I think that a lot of that comment section is indicative of the larger society. Not all social media is different, but everyone we know has an Instagram. Everyone we know has
not everybody that we know go into the comments section on
I know that,
make comments and start arguing and debating. Like, those are different types of animals.
It's not even for me. It wasn't even that. It was just like, it wasn't like like the shit with her friend, like supposedly cursed out her best friend Kelsa. It just kind of got me like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mad people that said something kind of even walked it back. Like, it was just like, yo, like, damn.
I don't know, man. I think that from what I seen, now that he got brought up on charges, I just think.
Well, now we're kind of circling back. You know what I'm saying? Because whoever says the right thing at the right time, that's who the public's eye is going to be in the favor of. Right now, that came out. So if something else comes, so that's why I was just like, yo.
I'm listening to Jason Lee, and he's like going ham on Meg for talking about Breonna Taylor on Saturday Night Live.
But you also can't get. But I feel like Jason Lee, and I don't. Obviously, we don't know none of these dudes, but
yeah,
like from the interviews I've heard with Jason Lee, that dude is kind of pretty connected. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets gets into certain conversations, he gets into certain rooms where he rubs shoulders.
I seen him at the Cardi party.
Yeah, so he kind of knows certain things, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's just like it's not enough to like just make me be like, yo, he did it. Like I
was dying too. I know it's a lot of like gossips though, but it was Jason Lee literally standing right next to Cardi B. And then she like runs down to give Megan a hug because it seemed like Megan surprised her. And then, I'm still scoping up the line, but she's in a whole other VIP by herself. Like, you know what I mean? That I'm like, yo, this is some real rooms in here. Like, there's a lot of money in these rooms and a lot of gossip. But I'm just saying that because I know Megan's not a fan of just Jason Lee.
Yeah, so like we have to be careful, like, because Jason Lee was like, you should be embarrassed for using Breonna Taylor on Saturday Night Live. Like, you don't care about this, you don't like, and so I'm like, damn, bro, like,
not for nothing, them dudes really not for like, and sometimes, and I hate to say this, but I can not that I respect that point of view, but I can see that point of view because not for nothing, them dudes know. He knows Megan Thee Stallion very different than how we know her. And he also knows how, like, he may have heard her talk a certain way, act a certain way. And, like, meanwhile, like, let's say, for instance, like, say, for instance, Zeem always says LBJ's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
But in front of a certain group of people publicly, he goes and he starts spewing that MJ's the GOAT. And they fall for his spiel, his speech. They're like, yo, this dude really thinks MJ's the GOAT. Like, he really made a damning case, but behind the scenes we know like, yo, this dude's full of shit right now. So I kind of feel like that's kind of like the mindset it's going with.
Yeah, but see, I understand that mindset, and I mean, for all we know, it could be true, but I'm just like, damn, like if you look at who you were at 24, which is how old Megan is, and you go through a traumatic event like that, it'll probably change you. It'll change your outlook. It'll change your perspective. It'll change how you feel about things. So for every way we could discredit, we could give credit. Like she went ham on the dude from Louisville. I love that. You know what I'm saying?
What happened with that? Louisville.
The attorney general from Louisville. She went ham.
Oh yeah, James. Yeah.
So,
but that's the thing. That's smart on her, and that's playing the room. Like if you say that right now and you say it the right place, you're gonna get the hurrahs.
I just want her to be careful. Just making sure if you're doing this and you're campaigning and this is the hat that you want to wear it and push that agenda forward.
Why though?
And I respect that. Huh?
Why? Why? Like, so what I'm asking you now is like, when you say wear that hat, push the agenda forward, what do you mean by that?
Meaning like, don't make this all about your case and what you went through. Continue pushing this because she has enough credibility, enough resources to really make an impact. And I don't want her to use this just for her, her simplified case. Take this, what is it called, baton, and run with it. I really want you to start making this a movement because I feel like she is a Black woman, talented,
money,
prominent, money, and I really want her to do. I don't want this to stop because if you're gonna wear the hat and live on this and go on SNL and New York Times and hashtag and start attacking it, continue it. And I respect it even more is what I'm trying to say. Don't let it die down. Continue this, moving forward. I think it's important. I'm glad that she's taking it on. I just don't want her to take, I just don't want her to use it for a moment. I want it to be a longevity thing. Does that make sense?
Nah, I completely get that. I think that what we have to do, and sometimes I'm guilty of this and I'm trying to get out of it, but it's hard because it's so ingrained in me. Like, I was just thinking like, damn, like a lot of people won't even take it serious because she'll like do that and talk about that. Then she'll go right into I'm a savage or WAP.
But that's the artist. You can separate the artists and So
I feel like for let's just use Meek as an example. Meek could talk about toting a ladder, about having a threesome, about whatever, but people are taking his social reform movement seriously. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope that Meg is granted that same thing because I don't know if she's going to be. Just being honest, because she's sexual.
No, me personally, I think she's making. I'm just talking artistic wise. She's making all the right moves, rubbing all the right elbows.
I think not even from a male's perspective. I think it from sometimes
women
kind of hard.
Yeah, she just
accept that,
she's beasting it right now.
You know what I'm saying?
She's
like I even it's kind of ingrained in me too. Like Cardi B, like she speaks out for like, you know, certain issues, but then when I'll write her, I'll see her write that post this morning. Like it's just like, yo, like this is who we are talking for us. So it's just sometimes.
Yo, I ain't gonna true. There was mad grammatical errors in like 6.
Yo, I was like, how did you even like how did you write that? Like you're famous now, you're rich, like this shouldn't be happening.
And she clicked send on that.
I had to like read it like 5 times, bro. I was like
but yeah, now I had to ask. I know that took a little bit of some time, but I just felt like we had to touch on.
Nah, man. I just hope. I really do hope that Mega's not lying. Not even so much for her, but just for women, man. Because like one big case where someone's lying about something can really like create a narrative, and now all these other women who are being abused or who, you know, it's.
And at the end of the day, I don't think
he's gonna do time because it was an illegal. Like I don't know if he's gonna do time, but he's gonna get charged for something because it was an illegal gun. I just want to know if he actually is gonna be the one charged for being the one to shoot her.
Right. And I, you know, and that's what he said. Listen, I've been charged does not mean a conviction. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's what like. Oh, he must have did it. Oh, they must have something on him. No, they got him on it just being a legal firearm in a, you know, whatever the case may be. And let's see what these other charges come to that head. And obviously, when you see the 22 years, that's the maximum penalty you can give somebody. So yeah, so people just, you know how that goes, whatever. But
yeah, and I just think that like the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want people like I see mad people saying, well, what you gonna say now? All those people who didn't believe Meg, he got charged, but charge is not a conviction. And a lot of those same people who felt that way is like, and also we have to acknowledge that just because the court says that Tory did it or somebody did it doesn't automatically mean that that's exactly what happened. And like the same people that were saying,
back to my ideology, we have to just, you know,
but
a lot of people.
We have to be consistent. We have to be consistent because the same people that were saying that us black men wasn't believing Jussie Smollett, you know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna take the word of Chicago PD who's corrupt. We know the LAPD is corrupt, you know what I'm saying? So let's see how the facts play out. Like I said, I haven't made one post against Tory. We get some heated debates in here, but I'm not waving the flag to like send Tory back to Canada. Let's just see how it plays out. But for right now, I'm still believing Meg.
I don't believe anybody. To me, I'm at the space where it's not I believe this person over that person, that person. I don't know enough to even have a thought process to be that invested. So this is why I'm able to.
I'm invested in the sense I want to know what the hell the statement
is. Yeah, in that sense, but meaning like to be like I believe one over the other with no known facts besides she was a victim that night and she did get shot. I just don't know by who. So
because listen, a lot of dudes really like I'm looking at DJ Academics, right? So when he goes on Daily Struggle and he's with Nadeska, he's very like tempered in how he's speaking about the thing. But then like he'll like be on his live stream or Twitch or whatever it is and be like, yeah, like, oh, you simping ass niggas, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm like, all right, Act, like slow down, bro. People are recording this, you know what I'm saying? So
he's reading the room. He's reading the room, professional setting and freedom setting.
Not for nothing, like that, and that's why I don't buy into that stuff too. Like the shade room and the only places that's kind of been like respectful has been Baller Alert, like Shade Room and which were Hollywood Unlocked. They're like kind of serving Meg up for like the way they posted for her to get.
Yeah, they want to
tell you that's what they always used to do for Meek Mill. You know, you loved it then though. Pick and choose Doc. Shout out to Charm City Kings too, man. Meek Mill, I'm so proud of you,
You
man.
acting like you Will Smith in that.
Yo, listen, that was some Denzel-ish type stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo,
yo,
man,
Mouse,
listen.
where you going, cuz? Get over here.
Yo, I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I've been having so much schoolwork, but yo, listen, Lovecraft. If you're not watching it, watch it.
Yeah. I got Courtney got HBO Max, so I'm on that. Heavy, taking
Yeah, I think I'm
advantage
gonna start
for
that tonight.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think I
Yo,
got 2 episodes.
this last episode, man, I was sitting. I'm watching.
How many episodes is it?
I think it's so far it's been 8. I think the
And
season.
it's one season.
Yeah. Yo, I ain't gonna front. I'm not gonna tell you guys what the last episode was and all that, but I sat there after the last episode for 10 minutes, just like kind of like staring off into space, like it did that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like,
I've
wow.
been seeing a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it right now.
Well, all right,
All right,
fellas.
Joe.
Post this tomorrow. We out.
Peace.
All right, Joe.